Hi everyone, let's do an example. So here we have the point -2, 1, and here we have the point 3, 3 in the Cartesian xy plane. Now let's call -2 x1, and let's call 3 x2. Or we could switch these, that's perfectly okay. However, if you call -2 x1, then 1 here better be y1, and then the 3 over here better be y2. So let's plug into the distance formula to find the distance between these 2 points, the length of this connecting line segment between the 2 endpoints. The distance equals the square root of the square of delta x, the difference in x's, 3 minus -2. Or you could go vice versa. That difference is squared. Don't forget the square. Plus the difference in y's, y2 minus y1, that's 3 minus 1, or vice versa, all squared. The end result is root 29, and you should put a unit here, meters. Assume that the x and y axes are scaled in meters, unless I say otherwise. So the distance between these 2 points, or the length of this line segment, will be root 29 meters. Between what and what? Between 5 and 6 meters, right? Because 5 is root 25 and 6 is root 36. So this would be 5 point blah, blah, blah meters. Now, what are the coordinates of this midpoint, M? What are the coordinates of the midpoint? To get the coordinates of the midpoint, we basically average the coordinates of the endpoints. So to get the x-coordinate of the midpoint, to get the x-coordinate of the midpoint, we take the average of the x-coordinates of the endpoint. To get the y-coordinate of the midpoint, we take the average of the y-coordinates of the endpoints. All right. So the x-coordinates of the endpoints are -2 and 3. Add them up, divide by 2. We're averaging them. The average of -2 and 3 is 1/2. It's okay that 1/2 is not an integer. Not all real numbers have to be integers. 1/2 is perfectly good as a real coordinate. You're spoiled with integers back in your algebra classes. Now, what about the y-coordinate of the midpoint? Well, we're going to average 1 and 3. Basically, the midpoint between 1 and 3 is 2, the average. So the coordinates of the midpoint will be given by 1/2, 2, and don't forget to surround those by the parentheses to indicate an ordered pair. 1/2 is the x-coordinate, 2 is the y-coordinate, which makes sense. We're in quadrant 1, where both x and y coordinates are positive. Next up, we're going to talk about graphs of equations and circles.